Aloha, and welcome to the Hawaii Wedding Studio podcast. I'm Brittany, your guide to all things elopements here on the beautiful island of Oahu. Today, we're declaring war on the drawer of doom and diving deep into wedding favors that your guests will actually cherish. From eco-friendly treasures to local island treats, we're making sure your big day leaves a lasting impression, not just extra clutter. All right, let's get engaged.
Lean back, turn it out into facts. Stay a while, press and play. You're smart, great every day.
Hello and welcome back to the Deep Dive. I'm Samuel.
And I'm Grace.
And today we are doing something a little bit dangerous. We are mentally packing our bags, checking our flight status, and heading out to the Pacific.
I am already there. Mentally, I am already at the swim-up bar.
But we aren't just going on vacation. We're doing something, well, much more stressful. We are planning a wedding.
Oh, boy.
Specifically, a wedding in Oahu. And even more specifically, we are tackling one of the most contentious, often dreaded, and frequently mocked aspects of the entire wedding industry.
I know exactly where you're going with this. You're talking about the stuff that ends up in the trash can at the hotel.
I'm talking about the party favors, the token of appreciation.
The trinkets, the dust collectors.
We have all been there. You go to this beautiful wedding, the ceremony is tear-jerking, the food is incredible, the open bar is flowing, and then as you are leaving, someone hands you something.
Yep.
A plastic doodad, a keychain with the bride and groom's face printed on it, a koozie with the pun that just doesn't quite land.
And you take it home out of pure guilt.
Exactly. You take it home and you put it in the drawer.
The drawer of doom.
The drawer of doom, that place in your kitchen where useless objects go to die alongside old batteries and takeout menus.
It's a graveyard for good intentions.
And today, based on some fantastic insights from Reverend James Chun, who is a veteran Hawaii wedding minister, and a really comprehensive guide by Daniela Huison, we are going to fix this. We are declaring war on the drawer of doom.
I absolutely love that mission statement. And honestly, looking at the source material, it's not just about avoiding junk. It's a total shift in mindset.
How so?
Well, Daniela Huison points out that in the old days, favors were almost an afterthought. They were just generic items that literally collected dust. But the goal now, especially if you're asking people to fly all the way to Hawaii, is to move from generic to creative, meaningful, and most importantly, practical.
Practical is the word that just jumped out at me in the reading. Because, let's be real for a second, if I am a guest and I have packed my carry-on to the absolute limit, I am not carrying a heavy, fragile crystal swan back to the mainland.
Please, no crystal swans. Let's make that a rule.
So yeah, we're looking at how to bring that aloha spirit to the guests in a way that doesn't end up in a landfill. We've got a lot to cover, from eco-friendly gear to snacks, and even some surprisingly tricky logistical tips for getting married in Oahu in 2026 without losing your mind.
Right. Because if you're stressed out about the marriage license, you are definitely not picking out thoughtful favors.
Now, you're panic buying sugared almonds?
Nobody wants panic on.
Nobody. So let's unpack the first big trend mentioned in the research. They call it the eco-awakening. Now, usually when I hear eco-friendly wedding, I just think expensive and beige.
I know, right? But this feels different. It's really driven by the location. When you're in a place as naturally stunning as Oahu, there's this built-in pressure, in a good way, to respect the environment.
Yeah, that makes sense.
You don't want to be the couple handing out single-use plastics on a pristine beach. The research suggests that the modern couple is feeling a rising sense of responsibility. It's not just, here is a gift, it's, here is a gift that respects the island.
Okay, so what does that actually look like? Because I'm skeptical. Is it just a paper straw?
It's better. One of the top suggestions is reusable shopping bags, specifically personalized canvas totes.
Okay, see, now that is something I might actually use, but isn't a tote bag a little, I don't know, generic?
Not if you do it right.
Mm-hmm.
The source suggests doing a fun design or maybe the wedding date, but keeping it stylish. Yeah. I mean, think about the utility here.
Go on.
You're at a destination wedding, you're going to the beach, you're buying souvenirs, you need to carry your sunscreen. If you give your guests a solid canvas tote when they arrive, it stops being a favor and starts being a tool for their trip.
That's a really good point. I'm always scrambling for a beach bag when I travel.
Exactly. And practically speaking, Hawaii has strict plastic bag bans.
Yeah.
So you are saving your guest from buying reusable bags at the ABC store every time they want a snack. It's reducing waste right there on the island.
Okay, that is a solid win. Utility plus eco-friendly. I'm sold. What else falls under this eco umbrella? I saw something in the notes about plantable seed paper, which sounds a bit like magic.
It is a little bit magical. It's this special paper that has seeds embedded right into the fibers.
So what, you just plant the invitation?
Well, maybe the thank you tag attached to the favor. Instead of throwing that tag in the garbage, the guest takes it home, buries it in a pot of soil, and it actually decomposes and grows into flowers or herbs.
That is surprisingly poetic.
It is. Daniela writes that it's symbolic of growth and new beginnings. It's a lovely metaphor for a marriage, really. You take a piece of the wedding, and it literally takes root when you get home.
I like that a lot better than a plastic magnet.
Oh, for sure.
And speaking of plastic, or the lack thereof, the sources mentioned bamboo. I feel like bamboo is the unofficial mascot of tropical weddings.
It is, but for a good reason. Bamboo straws or utensils fit the theme perfectly. But here's the why behind it. It's not just about sustainability. It's about memory.
Okay.
Every time your guest uses that bamboo straw in their iced coffee back in snowy Chicago, they get a little tactile reminder of the island. It triggers the sensory memory of the vacation.
That's the trick, isn't it? It's about triggering that memory without it being tacky.
Which brings us to the next category the sources highlight. Personalized keepsakes. But, and this is a big but keepsakes that people actually keep.
The rule here, according to the breakdown, is that guests hold on to things that feel uniquely theirs. This is the ego check for the couple.
Uh-oh. I feel a warning coming on.
If the favor is just a giant photo of the couple, that's great for the couple, but maybe less useful for the guests.
Right. I love my friends, I really do. But I don't necessarily need a coaster with their faces on it staring at me while I drink my morning orange juice. It feels like they're watching me. Exactly. So the suggestion is to go for symbols. For personalized keychains, for instance, don't put your faces on it. Choose a symbol. Maybe a sea turtle or a wave or an iconic Oahu landmark like Diamond Head.
So it becomes an accessory, not a billboard for their marriage.
Precisely. It becomes art. And for coasters, the advice is to keep it elegant and stylish. Maybe engrave the wedding date or initials, but in a way that looks like high-end decor that fits in anyone's living room.
And what about candles? The sources mention monogrammed candles.
Scented candles are huge. They're always popular. But adding a personal twist, like a special message or initials, elevates it. And again, scent is such a powerful memory trigger.
Oh, totally.
If you can find a scent that smells like the ocean breeze or plumeria or coconut, you're winning. You are literally giving them a time machine back to the wedding.
Okay, I'm on board with the eco stuff and the classy keepsakes. But let's be honest with each other. If I'm a guest and I see a favor table, what am I secretly hoping for?
You're hoping for food.
I am hoping for food. Always. The golden rule of weddings is food is always a hit.
It's the food rule. And fortunately, the sources agree. But because we're talking about Oahu, we aren't just talking about a bag of stale pretzels. We are talking about the taste of Oahu.
This is where the location really does the heavy lifting for you. You're in a culinary paradise.
You really are. And the first recommendation is a complete no-brainer. Local coffee beans.
Oh, yes. 1,000 times yes.
Oahu is a renowned coffee-growing region. Giving guests a bag of locally sourced beans it's just top-tier gift.
Just think about the morning after the wedding. You're maybe a little tired from dancing. Maybe you had one too many Mai Tais.
Maybe.
You brew that fresh Kona or Oahu-grown coffee in your hotel room.
Yeah.
That is a spiritual experience.
It is. And it's a morning reminder of the island that lasts for weeks after they get home. It's the gift that keeps on caffeinating.
I love it. But what if they aren't coffee drinkers? What about something sweeter?
Mini honey jars. Locally sourced honey.
That feels very wholesome. But is it a pain to pack? I'm thinking about luggage.
Not if you get the small jars. The source suggests 2-ounce jars, which are TSA compliant.
Smart.
And you can add personalized labels. It tastes like the local flora, it's distinct, and it's consumable. It won't clutter up the house.
Traveling well is a key point. You don't want to give someone something that explodes in their suitcase. Speaking of which, popcorn.
Gourmet popcorn.
The blog suggests flavored popcorn in cute, resealable bags. Now, I have a theory about this favor.
Let's hear it.
That popcorn never makes it to the airport.
Oh, absolutely not. Not a chance.
That is a midnight snack in the hotel room favor. That is a munchies in the Uber favor.
And that's totally fine. If it makes their stay better, it served its purpose. Not every favor has to last forever. Sometimes a really good snack at 2 a.m. is the best gift you can give.
Fair point. What about chocolate? The source mentions custom chocolate bars. My worry there is the tropical heat.
It is a risk, for sure. Premium chocolate with custom wrappers is a fantastic, indulgent favor. But you have to be smart. Don't leave them sitting on an outdoor table in the direct sun at 2 p.m.
Right.
Keep them in the shade or hand them out at the end of the night.
Good advice. Now, aside from food, there's another category of local that seems specific to Hawaii. You can't really do a Hawaii wedding without this next item.
The leis.
The lace. The source says no Hawaiian wedding goes by without lace. But there's a logistical hurdle here too, right?
There is. Fresh flower leis are incredibly fragrant and beautiful for the ceremony. They are the ultimate symbol of aloha, but you generally cannot take fresh flowers back to the mainland due to agriculture inspections.
Right. The egg inspection dogs at the airport will find you.
They will. So if you want the lei to be the favor that goes home, the source suggests silk lace.
The set option is interesting because that becomes a permanent souvenir.
Exactly. Guests can wear them during the party, which looks great in photos. Everyone looks festive. And then they can take them home to hang on their mirror or a lamp. It's a very visual reminder of the trip.
And speaking of local craftsmanship, the sources mention supporting artisans.
Yes. This is for the couple that wants to go a step further. Handmade pottery, local jewelry, or soaps made in the area. It connects the guests to local economy and the culture in a deeper way. It feels less like wedding merchandise and more like a curated gift.
I like that. But let's say I'm a couple that wants to be hands-on. I want to sweat a little for my guests. I want to DIY. Is that a good idea for a destination wedding, or am I asking for a nervous breakdown?
It depends on how you handle it. The sources are actually very pro DIY, provided it's done with love and foresight.
Meaning
you don't want to be cooking jam in your hotel bathtub the night before the wedding.
Please never cook jam in a hotel bathtub. That is a rule for life.
But if you can prep it beforehand, homemade jams, barbecue sauces, or salsa are great. It's like you're sharing a piece of the couple's kitchen.
Here is my famous spicy salsa. Try not to cry.
Exactly. Or infused olive oil and vinegar. You can experiment with rosemary, lemon, garlic. It looks beautiful in a glass bottle.
Bath salts were another one mentioned.
Yes. Personalized bath salts or soaps. Relaxing scents like lavender or eucalyptus. It's a way of saying, we know you traveled far. Go take a bath and relax.
Which bridges the gap to the next big idea. Sometimes the best favor isn't a thing at all. It's an experience.
This is for the couple who hates clutter. Zero clutter.
My favorite kind of clutter.
One powerful option is a donation to charity.
Okay, have to play devil's advocate here. How do you pull that off without it feeling, I don't know, cheap, like you just didn't want to buy anything?
It's all in the presentation. You don't just do nothing. You leave a thoughtful card at the place setting explaining the noble cause the couple supports. You say, in lieu of favors, we have made a donation to the Oahu Reef Preservation Fund in your name.
Ah, I see.
It aligns the wedding with the couple's values. Most guests actually appreciate that more than a cheap keychain.
That's classy. If the cause is good, people get it.
Another one is the photo booth. The picture is the souvenir.
Always a hit. People love photos of themselves.
They do. Use fun props, let them snap pictures. It's interactive entertainment and a keepsake rolled into one. And finally, a personalized playlist.
Oh, that's cool.
Sharing the couple's favorite songs digitally so guests can relive the memories. You send them a link, and suddenly they have the soundtrack to your wedding on their phone for the flight home.
That is smart. And it costs nothing but time.
Exactly.
Now, you touched on relaxing earlier with the bath salts. There is a whole category in the source material dedicated to wellness, which, considering weddings often involve an open bar, feels very strategic.
It's very on brand for a vacation wedding. You want people to feel good. So the morning after kit, or just general wellness favors, is a strong move.
What are we putting in this kit?
Sleep masks.
Essential.
Herbal teas, encouraging guests to unwind. Essential oil rollers blends for relaxation or energy.
Here is some peppermint oil. Please be on the dance floor in 10 minutes.
Precisely. And even things like personalized hand sanitizers or masks, it just shows you care about their well-being. It's practical care.
Okay, so we have conquered the favor table. We have eco bags, we have Kona coffee, we have bamboo straws. We are winning, but we are still planning a wedding in Hawaii. And that comes with some very specific challenges.
The pitfalls.
The pitfalls. Let's talk about what can go wrong and how our source, Reverend James Chun, helps fix it. Because there is some nitty-gritty legal stuff here that I found surprising. I think people assume it's the U.S. I just show up on the beach and say, I do.
And that is a dangerous assumption. One major point of confusion is the marriage license.
Walk me through it.
So according to Reverend Chun's breakdown, you need to apply online. The fee is about $65. But here's the kicker. You need to pay online before you go.
So don't just show up at the government office with cash.
No. You do the digital paperwork first. You get a worksheet. And then, this is the part people miss, you have to take that worksheet to a license agent in Hawaii to pick up the actual license.
So it's a two-step process, online, then in person.
Correct. And both of you need to be there with valid ID. You can't send your best man to pick it up.
That is really good to know. And what about the location? I feel like beach weddings sound simple, but Oahu is a big island with a lot of traffic.
It is. The sources distinguish between town spots and country spots.
Decode that for me. Town versus country.
Town usually refers to places near Waikiki and Honolulu, like Magic Island. It's convenient. You're near the hotels, the restaurants.
But maybe more crowded.
Potentially. You might have joggers in the background of your photos versus country locations, which are more secluded, like Waimanalo or the North Shore. Stunning, private feel. But you have to factor in travel time. If there's an accident on the highway, your guest might be an hour late.
So you have to decide what vibe you want, convenience or seclusion.
Exactly. And then there's the witness myth.
I thought you always needed a witness. I thought I needed my Aunt Linda to sign the paper.
Not in Hawaii. Not in 2026. The rules say you can exchange vows solely in the presence of an officiant. So if you want to elope, just the two of you, you don't need to grab a random sunbather to sign a paper.
That is really good to know for the elopers out there. But all these details, locations, licenses, permits, traffic, it just sounds like a headache.
That's where Reverend James Chun comes in.
Yeah.
The source really positions him as more than just the guy who reads the vows. He acts as a guide.
He's the fixer.
He is. He offers wedding packages and location scouting. He has offices in both Honolulu and Pearl City, so he covers the whole island.
And he helps you navigate the whole town versus country debate.
Exactly. He knows the traffic patterns. He knows which beaches require permits. He acts as that local expert so you don't have to guess.
And he's accessible.
Very. The site lists his email, ohuminister@gmail.com, and his phone number. The idea is that he helps diffuse the challenges so you can focus on the fun stuff, like eating that gourmet popcorn.
Exactly. You want a guide who knows the difference between a tourist trap and a hidden gem.
And who ensures you are actually legally married at the end of the day.
That is a crucial detail. Imagine flying home and realizing you forgot the paperwork.
Nightmare scenario.
So let's wrap this up. We started with the drawer of doom. We want to avoid filling it.
Right. Whether you go with a bamboo straw, a bag of coffee, or a donation to charity, the philosophy is the same. It's about the aloha spirit.
It's about sharing the story.
It's not just giving a gift for the sake of checking a box. It's about saying, thank you for coming all this way. Here is a piece of this experience to take with you.
And honestly, if you're planning this, embrace the fun of it. Don't get bogged down in the price tag.
Guests appreciate the thought way more than the cost. A thoughtful handwritten note attached to a customized chocolate bar beats an expensive but useless crystal swan any day.
I think No Crystal Swans is going to be the title of my memoir.
It's a good rule for life.
If you are feeling inspired or maybe just a little less panicked about your Oahu wedding, definitely reach out to Reverend James Chun for that stress-free experience. He seems to have the map to the treasure.
He certainly does.
And hey, if you want more tips on how to survive and thrive in the world of weddings, especially the tropical kind, make sure to subscribe to this deep dive. We've got more insights coming your way.
Always more to learn.
Thanks for listening, everyone. Aloha!
Planning your dream Oahu elopement shouldn't be a headache. So remember to keep it practical, keep it local, and always check those marriage license requirements. For a stress-free ceremony, don't hesitate to reach out to the experts like Reverend James Chun. Until next time, stay salty, stay hitched, and we'll see you on the sands of Oahu.